Hey everyone, welcome to our second lesson on C++. This one will be about variables in basic math. So what is a variable? A variable is something that you can store any type of value in. And you can use this to give information to your program. So all of them must be declared or defined before you can use them. So you just can't pop up with a variable without telling the computer exactly what it is. They have a name and a data type, which we'll explain a bit later, and it should always start with a lowercase. So the keywords are the words that you use to declare the variable, and the data type is just what it's called. So to use an integer, so if you want to input an integer as your value, you use an integer data type, obviously. And to someone that use int. If you want to, for example, have many decimal points after that integer, so it's not just an integer, it's not just a number. It has many decimal points. Then you can't use an integer anymore. You have to use a double floating point, which is called a double. A bool, on the other hand, which is called a boolean, you can use to store values that are only true or false. There's nothing else. They're either true or they're false. A character, it's called a char. You use it to store a specific letter or symbol or number. It can literally basically be anything, but it's only one of those. It doesn't store more than one. In a string, you can store a sequence of characters. So you can make sentences, you can use a bunch of space, you can put a bunch of numbers, but it's basically any sentence that you can write. That's what we showed you guys how to do in the last lesson when you guys made the hello world. That's what you use strings. So to declare the variable, you say the key that it is. So for example, int, and then you say whatever you want to call it. There's another way you can declare them. So you don't have to declare them one by one, like keep going to next lines. Int money, int pay, int fish. No, you can just use int once, and then you just list them all with commas, and then you obviously add the semicolon in the end of the list. So an example of how you can set that variable to something is you just put an equal sign. Simple as that. So money equals 10, semicolon in the end. You can also do some sum when you're declaring the variable. So for example, money equals 10 plus 5. That's going to give you 15. So money is equal 15. You can also multiply. So for the multiplying, you use this sign. When you're using division, you use the slash, dash. You can multiply it by other variables like we're showing here, or you can also multiply it by just regular numbers or decimals or anything. You can subtract numbers by it. And the difference in this one and the other ones is that in this one, it's declaring the variable at the same time as it is assigning it a value. So it's using the key int, saying the name, and then already setting it to a value that you want. So let's give an example over here. So let's suppose I'm using the setup that I did last time, so with the getch and the void main, not with the int main. So here, for example, int money, fish. What else what's supposed to be buying? Meat, vegetables. I just declared all of these, okay? So they don't have a value, they're just declared. But let's suppose I want to declare and assign a value at the same time. I can use int fruits equals, let's suppose we have 10 fruits. Okay, so we already have values for this. So I'm gonna set fish equals to 20. Meat equals to 15. Vegetables. I suppose we don't like vegetables, we're just buying 3 vegetables. Okay, so I'll just put this total instead of meat. So for our total, we can just simply use total equals then the sum of all this, right? So we have fruits plus fish plus meat plus vegetables. You don't really have to write any spaces in between. You can. It doesn't really matter. Just remember to do the semicolon in the end. And for us to be able to show that information to our users, let's use a cout. So cout total. So let's run this and see how it goes. $83. So we'd add all of this together. So 10, 20, 30, right? So plus 50, 80 plus 3, 83. So it's right. So let's suppose that I didn't want to write, let's suppose that we know that the fish is never going to change. So let's suppose I want to eliminate fish, and instead of fish over here, I just want to put 20. That would have the same effect. It wouldn't change anything. It would still give us the same number. See? 83. It still works. So yeah. I hope you guys were able to understand everything, and see you guys in the next lesson.